Good morning, everyone. So, something happened at the house, and I thought, right there, in a way, right? Yeah, sometimes you get the lessons through nature, right? Yes? I mean, our animals, they do what they do. They're not under any kind of, per se, control. They have a lot of freedom here. So, while I was getting ready to come to the barn, Cece was upstairs too. There was this just dogfight going on the porch, and they tore all kinds of things down. This while they were doing it, 3 big dogs, and none of them is hurt. And I said, "Why did they get into whatever? What is there? Why? What reason is there to get into it like this?" 2 of them can get out of the yard however they want to. Only Gus has to be again. I don't know what made the chicken so appetizing again. So, and the instigator, no doubt, is our German Shepherd. So here's one thing with Jake. When he got here, he had some problems, okay, and they went away. But one thing, he was really focused on sticks. Sticks are his life. This, that. I mean, you say stick. You tell him, bring me a stick. He'll knows exactly what you want him to do. So then he gets to go run after a stick. One of the problems with that is that we started a bad habit doing it from the porch, which was a bad idea. So we're not doing that anymore. And it has to be outside. We have to be outside doing it. So now he doesn't get as much of that. There's another thing about Jake is he loves Bo, one of the other our older, bigger dog, and he's just focused now on Bo. And if he's not with Bo, it's like he just not right in the head again. It's like we have a dog with an obsessive compulsive behavior, right? That focuses just on one thing, right? And that's it. And anything that gets in the way, right? So when the other 2 play, he feels like he needs to get in there now, right? Somehow. And anyway, that created the havoc. Which, as soon as I get out there with the broom, and they were done already because things were flying. So, by the time I get out there with the broom, they're all, we didn't do it. No. Well, someone did. Right? So here I am, not letting them know. Hello? What are you doing? Come on now. One of them hightailed it straight out of the fence. So they know. Right? Even as animals, they know, we just done something. But got me thinking about something else. Also, we switched the animals to daytime. So that's why they're all in here. Are you ready? Come on. Come on. I know of young people, they're in their late 20s, mid 30s. That's young to me now. Teenagers. Guess I'm not around enough teenagers anymore. But I really wonder sometimes where older people want to take the attention of younger people, teenagers. Right? Especially when one sees now what the curriculums are in, say, public schools. But then just saw something recently where, it's not just, oh. Aren't you guys done? Those are done. Maverick. Huh? Must be something in the air, I guess. I guess we'll find out. What's going on? That the animals are here right now, kind of, really? You guys have to get on each other's nerves? What are children doing when they go to school? Let's get back to that. They should learn. What should they learn? Basic life skills. I don't think they need to learn anything about what goes on in a bedroom between people, or the preferences people have. I don't get that. What's that doing in schools? There are other things. So they got rid of home ec, for example. They get rid of home ec because there isn't enough money to keep programs going like this. They get rid of programs like carpentry and things like that, which we didn't have in Switzerland, but we definitely had home ec. Let's see, what did the boys do? Yeah, they did do something too. It was just the girls that went to home ec, by the way. Interesting? Yes? Yeah. What did the boys do? Gosh, I don't even know. See, this is how I was not, I did what I needed to do in school, and that was learn, okay? But I guess they had, gosh, I don't know. I can't remember what they did. Well, anyway. But here, I know they had home ec, and they had carpentry and welding or something, things that, life skills, kind of, giving you an idea as a child what you really like to do. Do you like to work with your head just, right? Or with your hands, right? And then you need math, and you need writing and reading, right? I think it's a good thing to have history. I guess that would go into social studies. But what is that now? It's so politically influenced that what are the kids actually learning when it comes to that, right? Yes? And already they're being pushed, right, into certain directions on what they want to tell you, right, what the government is, what a political party is. It's very sad. I've seen that with my granddaughter, who was in 2nd grade during COVID, and the question she was asked about certain things all had to do with the government going, why is a 2nd grader learning that kind of stuff? There are so many more better things to learn as a 2nd grader, especially when it comes to social studies, history, right? Then the sciences, the same thing. It was kind of like, oh my God. Oh, there I felt like, man, they're dumbing the kids down with these just, I don't know, dumb things about science. And a 2nd grader, there were things there to say, that's not science to a 2nd grader. It just isn't. Science, geology, right? Learning about where places are, this, that. There's another one, right? Well, anyway, it's interesting on how somehow children used to go to school to learn basic things. Basic, and then went on, right, to their field of expertise. They wanted to be in, what they love to do, right? Yes? Okay. Now it's like, what are children actually learning? You guys ever watch them where the guy goes out on the street and asks young people, not just young people, I mean, even older people, it's like, oh my God, I'd be so embarrassed if I were you. And they ask them these questions. How many dimes in a dollar? And they can't answer. How many states in the United States? They can't answer. One question was, so, well, which country is the Panama Canal in? Didn't know. No idea. There was more, but I'd be afraid to ask him how to spell hello. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you ready? Yes, I am. Maybe not. Needs a little help here. Okay, buddy. You got this? Up, up. Good. Okay, whoa. Oh, he beeps big time when he first gets out. Anywho, so, but to get back to, so again, huh? As a parent, you send your children to school, and now it's suddenly you have to worry about what are they actually teaching them. Here's another thing that I saw on how. Okay, so I grew up with math, for example, and it was a really just basic. Everybody learned the same thing, and that was it. And that was now, a long time ago, 30, 40, 40, 50 years ago, right? When I went to school. And one thing, for example, was the multiplication table. You learned that pretty quick. As soon as the adding and subtracting kind of was in. And that was, man, I don't know anyone in my classroom that didn't know how to multiply, at least up to 10, 12. So, and now it's like, whoa, my granddaughter does. That's because we practiced with her as well. But I have no doubt that over 60% in children in school do not know their multiplication tables. Anywho. And there are other things. The reading. Oh my gosh. And here's the thing. It's not, the math. No, now it's like, I've seen this on certain things also. Okay, they give you these examples and then, okay, how much is it? And then, okay, well, that's easy. Yeah. And you go and you look at the answers that people give. You go, how did they get to these answers? How did they? How come they don't know? So I went and watched on YouTube some videos on how math is done today, and on how you can with one problem you can have several answers. And I'm going, no, you're not. There is no way you're going to be able to build anything, a house, a table, a cabinet, a chair, or set a piece of concrete somewhere. There is no way you're going to be able to do that if you do not know true math. It's not going to happen. How about geometry? Oh, are there different? Is, pi suddenly going to be a different number? Well, no, it's always going to be the same. Do you know what I mean? Well, anyway. So it's like, what's going on out there? And why are there constantly these new books and I don't know out there, right? To what? To get where? Our children aren't even learning the basic things anymore. Because everything has to be so doggone complicated. Right? Complicated. Or so dumbed down that, well, anyway, I'm just saying. No money for home ec classes, which I think is important. Know how to knit. I have to teach everything. I have to teach, I homeschool. Taught everything to my children myself. Knit, crochet, sew, cook, clean. Right? No money for that. But now they have money for these weird gender classes. Transvestites coming or transgenders coming to read stories. I'm sure they're getting paid. That's not free. And guess what? We're paying for it. I just got our TDS bill, okay? Internet and phone. And I'm looking and going, wow, why is the tax so high suddenly? I was surprised. Wait a minute. It went within just a few months from about 100, 110 to 120. And I'm going to look and go, well, the prices haven't changed. So where is it? The taxes. Well, wait a second. Oh, that's what they're doing now. We all know where the taxes go, right? So what am I paying for with the extra taxes? School tax, this, that, right? For transgender story time? Gender classes? Or whatever else? Really? Now, the money for that is there. But for home ec, actually things that help people out there when they get older, right? To be more self-sufficient and functional. Life skills. That's not being taught. I'm sorry, people. That's a weird one to me. Okay, my children are out of school, right? Done. There was a class, my youngest one, in high school, I think it was something about sex education. That she comes home with, and you had to say, I said, did you want to go to that? She said, well, if I don't go, I said, I have free time. I said, what do you want? I said, is there something you don't know? I mean, I can tell you, But the thing is, I said, I really don't want them to teach you about, and I said a couple, and she goes, oh, Mom, gross. I don't want to hear that. I said, well, you don't want to hear it from me. So you want to go into a classroom and hear about it? She said, no. I said, so you don't want to do it? No, I don't want to do it. I asked her, though, if she wanted to say, yeah, I want to go, and, but she didn't. So she had free time, could do whatever she wanted to, right? Do her art thing and this and that. Okay, so there is at least a choice, right? But really? If you go to a high school, I guarantee you that there isn't a child in there that doesn't know exactly how all that stuff works. Because all you have to do is just watch them. So it's sad to see that, again, there's money for that. But there isn't money for actual spiritual guidance like a Bible study? No. Well, that's because, no, don't give me that. By the way, here's another one. Go look, the 2022 quarter. Go look at the 2021 quarter, and then go and look at the 2022 new quarter. Let's see if you can figure out what the difference is. Very sad. Again, these are little things, right? These are little things. I'm going, wait a minute. What just happened here? You guys go and check it out if you're interested. I don't want to give everything away because it goes in one ear and out the other. If you go and check it out yourself and go, whoa, huh? Then maybe the light bulb will go on and you go, wow, interesting. What's going on here now? How come they made a change like this? How come? Really? I mean, in many ways, I felt that through the COVID and all this mayhem we had in our country, people were kind of going back to, God's got to be in this country. He's the one. He's the one where we founded our foundation on. Any of them. And that includes everyone. I know quite well. I've read enough up on what people done in the name of God, even in this country. Okay? But that's not all of us. It isn't. And as far as I can see, now, really, in this country, everyone that wants to can be a happy person. Everyone. We all have have to look at ourselves and say, hey, I know where I'm going wrong. I really do. And be honest about it. I said something in the other video, which I still will make that video, about, the oppressed, the ones that feel oppressed. Really? Are you really oppressed? Or are you just because, have you become the oppressor? And have been the oppressor for a long time. And not with good intentions. So to go back, I know young people, and every so often I see that one's, doing this, just amazingly on how they care about life, not just their own or the family, but the life around them, and on how they learn on their own, on how to do things, how to make things. And then a recent one where I saw one of my son's friends who sends me, hey, look, this is what I'm doing with the herbs, and I learned that from you. I'm so happy I found out about that. And he shows me what he's making. And here I'm going, wow, this is amazing. I love it. I love it. We have young people out there who are picking up important knowledge. I believe is important. And, the excitement that they have over it, and on how he's actually made something I've never made before. Right? And I said, oh, you're doing this with us? Oh, interesting. Right? On how they expand on their own as well with the knowledge given by an older person, for example. The guidance that they were given. Yes. That's wonderful to see. And I believe there is, plenty of young people out there doing that, but even then, they're becoming lost. Right? How many will there be in the next generation? There was a thing I saw. They found this scorpion, a giant scorpion that is extinct. Right? That's it. Found a giant scorpion that is extinct. And I'm going, okay, I'm sorry. Well, if you found it, then it's not extinct. Well, one said, well, they thought it was, thought. Okay. But that's not what it said. The headline should have said, we were wrong. This species still exists. We were wrong on saying it was extinct. Yes, see? Yes. With how many other things is it exactly like that? Yeah. Anywho. So, what I find with people who give off the vibe of oppression is that they have found a way to totally push aside the opportunities that they have themselves. And they're choosing to attack others who did take these opportunities and made something good out of it. Which is absolutely wrong. Absolutely wrong. It's come to the point where people out there want to see, I'm not saying parents want that or this, people want to see children sit on the lap of a statue at a bench, on the lap of a criminal, rather than an angel. Right? You don't want angel statues out there, do you? Well, that would be a religious thing. Well, glorifying criminals, what is that? That's not a religious thing? Think about it. It's a different religious thing. You should go and look up what religion means. And what kind of guidance an angel would give a child, and what kind of guidance a criminal would give a child. You see, this is a simple example on how the ones who tell you they're oppressed and need change, how they actually are the oppressors. It's not that hard to figure that out, is it? Not to me, it isn't. The main thing to me is, I've said that in the other video, why do I have to be quiet about it? There are so many lives at stake. Even more so now. You guys ever go to, it's the standard is just missing. There's the standard anymore. As I said, in this country, there are still so many places where you can excel in what you love. Achieve what you love to do, want to do. All right. What did I say in the other video? Okay. That's what I found is every time, I have found this every time, it's always the same. Right, Maddie? In order to be successful and get rich, you have to hurt other people. You have to cheat other people, scam, same thing, kind of, other people. You have to steal from the people. You do. You do. I have never met anyone that was rich and successful that didn't have to do that. Didn't do that. Didn't have to. That's a good one, right? Too. So, I feel like when I looked at my TDS bill, I thought, when I looked at the bill, oh, I see the change. Oh. I have a choice. I could just get rid of the internet and my phone. And then I wouldn't be a part of that anymore. Or I have to say, well, I guess I choose to be a part of that. Then I'll have to accept it. So what am I saying with that? Ooh, Maddie. You either get out from creating mayhem in this country, or you stay and start achieving something, or you stay with it, and then you have to just take what there comes with that as well, right? Yes? When you decide to be a victim, become a victim in society or whatever, then you should also look at on what your own behavior contributed to that, on how it contributed to that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is that. And that goes for everyone, okay? Whatever state you are in, what contributed to your well-being, happiness, contentment, achievement? And what contributed to your non-well-being, unhappiness, discontent? And all has failed. I think if people were just honest with themselves, then they'd have to say, whoa, wait a minute. Okay. There were parts of where I was involved in certain things, went certain places that I made a choice myself. That was my choice. Just saying. So there it is. That's what I wanted to share this morning, right? Yes. Yeah. Coming from someone who just got over COVID. Well, it was a bit rough, not too rough. You know, I made it. I'm good. Still coughing a little. My nose still a little, but I'm definitely on the mend. I've got energy again. Worked in the garden yesterday. I'd like to make some videos and showing on how, oh my gosh, I'm just so, I look out there and I see, oh my God, things are getting ready to harvest. I didn't have a big garden this year because I wasn't here to plant it. So we had something great, loved it. We still have peppers. We still have asparagus. I found some more onions yesterday while weeding. I needed it so bad. I still need more. Oh dear. And I look out there. I'm going, so excited about the amaranth, and still trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to harvest that exactly? You know, which right, YouTube has videos, or Google has where you can look. Oh, this is great. Yeah, yes. So I have to do that too. I had to learn all that myself. I didn't. Yeah, my mom was very busy. Learned things from her too. Cooking, just cleaning. Definitely learned how to clean house from her. And but really, when it comes down to it, anything that I've suddenly, I love herbs. I love working with herbs. I love growing herbs, right? Cooking with them, making medicine with it, right? And this and that. Loved it. I something that I was never interested in, or well, I wasn't taught any of that when I was young. And then just, okay, out of the necessity of that, I'm so allergic to it. This other stuff, so allergic, but really can't, it just creates havoc in my system. So all this natural stuff, it's great. Well, if you don't have anything major ever happen, which I haven't yet, okay, just saying. But I'm excited. I'm just, it's with the animals here. I've been doing this now, right? For 20 years, just about 20 years. And I still love doing it. I spent 2 days in the barn cleaning, moving things around. I got to winterize it. Oh, and then we had chickens are in the barn. They move from place to place, whatever. I don't know what their ideas are. Safest place me. And so they pooped all over here. So I had to move everything and put the food back out here. Now it's okay. Everybody do not leave those 2 stalls open when the horses are in, or open. They have to be specially locked down, or they can open them up, right? So do not forget, yeah. So that's something, right? But still love doing it. Just do. So many years. And there's always a little something different going on with that too. Right? Used to have the goats, don't have them anymore, mainly because physically this is what I can handle. Right? But I didn't get rid of them. I waited until the last one. I was ready for the dinner table. Okay, all right, that was Leo. Well, anywho, so there it is. And then, yeah, I mean, to be where I am at my age, which is not 60 yet, I am proud of myself. Started with nothing. With nothing, basically. I brought $100 and the VW camper van that we had bought here to my marriage. That was it. Right, that was it. And my husband had just moved into the little apartment out of his car. Yeah. So we both started with nothing. Just about nothing. And through the hard work of his ancestors, his father as well, and then our willingness to, okay, and that's it, buying that house, fixing it up in California, then 7 years later selling it for this unbelievable amount, was preparation. Again, how, and at the same time, we were involved with God. Absolutely 100% involved with God. And we're guided somehow, after we didn't even know it. And on what we built up here. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. If we could do that, then anyone can do that. It doesn't matter who you are. You can do that. Now, I'm talking, I mean, I know that people who physically are perfectly fine, young people, arms and legs, everything's working fine, there's no problem, will come and say, yeah, but how about the ones who are, disabled or this or that? Okay, I'm sorry, you guys go and look it up. It is amazing to me on what these people can do, what they achieve. So no, I'm not going to use people who are, for one reason or another, right, have a less to work with when it comes to their self. Because time and time again, it's proven out there that, whoa, they're doing amazing things. Now, with the internet, you can go and look in poor countries. There are amazing people there who are doing amazing things for their communities. They're not being stopped by where they grew up, how poor they are. They're not. There's this one young man in Africa who started 2 or 3 years ago. He started growing a garden, had some seeds, started growing a garden, and now it's like he's become this super gardener. Right? Well, I talked about him before. There is that example. Another young man in a very poor community, neighborhood, this, that, had no electricity. So he, okay, The interesting thing is, how did he find out about how to build something like that? Sometimes I think, Spirit will just guide you. Or, right? Sometimes you're getting, okay, so they can't afford electricity or they don't have, but they have internet. Interesting? Right. Okay. All right. I'm just saying. So they can look it up on, but I think in his case, he got all this stuff together. He may have gone to a class or something, and he built this tower out of scrap wood and scrap metal, whatever he found laying around, this, that, and then he powered his family's home. Right? Young guy, really young guy. So mom and dad, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles. I don't know how many people live there. And people in times at first, they were laughing at him. This is it. People laugh at you. And then they saw, oh, wow. They said, hey, we'll help you build a bigger one for the whole little village. And they did. Yeah. Well, anyway. So there it is. Right? Yeah. So you have to be born into a perfect situation to achieve anything? No, you're not. In California, many, many years ago, 20, 30 years ago now, there was a young guy, high school senior, and then they had the SATs, and he scored a perfect score. Perfect score. Hadn't happened in a long time. Perfect score. Turns out his whole family, including himself, living on the streets. Living on the streets. Whoa. So, I'd like for people to remember, okay, and then there was, okay, I got to tell, all right, I'll tell this one too. Then there was, he may have passed away now. Also, several years ago, I saw this story about a guy, was in Brazil somewhere. I think it was in Brazil. Anyway, and because of all the logging that's been going on, their river or their little creek that they had running by the village in the mountains dried up. They couldn't grow anything anymore. They could hardly keep their cattle alive. They had enough water for themselves, but otherwise just wasn't happening. And the village was dying. So there was this guy there, he had a job, and so he bought seeds, certain seeds of spices, and grew them and sold them, and then with that, he bought trees. I think they're called banyan trees. And banyan trees, they planted them, and the people just laughing at him. What are you doing? And even let their animals eat them, little saplings and stuff. But he didn't give up. For 20 years, he kept planting these trees along the creek, dried up creek. Banyan trees will pull up the water from way down in the ground. Suddenly, water started coming up again. And the river started having a little water again. And people saw that and going, oh my gosh. Right? And then they started helping. But only after they saw the miracle happen. Then they started helping. And within not too long, they had enough water again. And the village started thriving again. One person said, I can make a change here. But what did he face with that change as well? I'd like for people to remember out there when especially young people, older people, well, it's the next generation that's going to have to more so discontent and conflict between each other. I'm going to be gone. The sad thing, what I see is on how the same generation, the younger generation, are discouraging their own generation, hindering their own generation. When you destroy someone's business, their own livelihood, something they built up on their own. And you come and you smash in the windows, you thrash everything in there. What do you think you're doing? Showing everybody you're oppressed? No, what are you doing? You have just destroyed someone's achievement. In some cases, people kill someone so that then they can destroy someone's achievements. That's really sad. And something that somehow, nobody wants to talk about? I'm just saying, right? Yes? Yeah. One could say a whole lot more to it, but I think I talked long enough. And I need to clean up the barn, get back over to the house. We had a mouse in the house, and the mouse was very sneaky about whatever the mouse was doing in the house. And we were kind of not aware of it. Now we got to clean up some stuff. Needs to be done. You don't want mouse poop anywhere. I don't. So that's one thing I need to do today. That little mouse definitely achieved quite a bit when you think about it. Yeah, but not in the house. Right? I'll let him live here in the barn, but not in the house. That's not going to be a good thing. Right. I think young people need to learn where their place is again. And please study. These videos, I mean, one can look at them, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Oh my gosh, they're so dumb. They're so stupid. But really, I look at them and going, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me. This cannot be true. I'm sure this is all staged. Like the wrestling. I thought that was real. It's not real either. I was so surprised. I went, what? Felt like I was cheated. What? Cheated, giving them my wow, this is whoa, these guys, whoa, that would have broke every bone in my body, right, or something. Yeah, these guys then the matches they're already. They already know who's gonna win. This, and I'm going, what? No way, I felt cheated. My admiration for these tough guys felt cheated. Oh, that's sad. Never watched another match. Well, anyway. So there it is. Anywho. Finish up. In Switzerland, we have something called Schwinge. And the guys have these burlap sack pants on, kind of short, and they have a belt up on top here. And then they stand there and they each start with holding on to the belt, and then they have to try to throw them on their backs. I think if you have both shoulders down, then that's it. I think guys need certain things where they can just, as good as guys, right? Yes? And that's something, we're right there in each other's face. And I've never seen anybody get hurt. And this isn't a sport where, this is a sport has some to do with strength and agility, right? And technique. Yeah. So it's a smart sport, really, when it comes down to it. Boxing. Okay, boxing. As I said, Schwinge, the guys aren't having black eyes and blood splatters and blood. Some people like that. All right. Getting hit in the head, I don't know how many times that's going to do something to you. Okay. Right. So the wrestling is fake. Sumo wrestling, kind of, but these guys are so big. I don't know how old they get, but Well, anyway, I'm just, right? I get it. Yeah. There are healthy things. Another thing that I like too is when I have, uh, for example, these contests, right? With an axe, where you see who can the fastest, right? This, that, all that kind of stuff. Right? Not the power tools, right? The chainsaw stuff, but the manual axe and picks and whatever they use. Right? I love that. This is where you get your strength. That's where you, right? Yes? Okay, that's just me. There are so many different types of activities like that. Some of them are sports that I think are great for guys. Right? Okay, women do it too. I don't know why, but to just show what they're, and again, to cut a tree in half with an axe. Again, that takes strength, agility, and technique. Huh? Yes? Yeah. Why did I bring that up? Okay, what did I tell right at the beginning about Jake? He's a German Shepherd. German Shepherds are working dogs. And he has this obsessive behavior over things. That can create a problem. We had to slow down with throwing the sticks because he's destroying his teeth. Yeah. Now we're going to have to teach him to be with the other two dogs again because his focus is too much on one dog and he's not accepting the other two. In a way. I mean, this happens, once in a blue moon, but still, it's happening. Once in a blue moon could cause a serious problem. Yeah. So the thing to do with him is I take him with me out here as well. He can go and run. He does. But again, there's another behavior in a dog that's a working dog that needs a job that has to be stopped. Needs to be, okay, we're going to have to find another direction. I think it's with humans the same thing. You have too much time on your hands. You start having, and not good guidance and direction, you end up doing something wrong. You're going to end up doing things you should never do to another human being. Or an animal. The abuse that goes on out there with many things it's mind-boggling to me. Mind-boggling. And how many are actually held accountable for the abuse that they are creating? Yeah, abuse 100% is created by human beings. 100%. Yeah. Okay, done with that. So, what other sport would I recommend? Which all of my grandchildren, except the youngest one, are playing. Plus my niece, nephew, and my niece too, are soccer, right? Running with a ball. My grandson actually has learned in this sport that he doesn't get to push children, right? He has to keep his hands, right, to himself, his arms. Right? He doesn't get, and he's learned through soccer. It's great. There is a way. He's learned through soccer. Yeah. And it's a great sport. Yeah. At least you're not, people go and start playing things professional. I guess after a certain amount of time, then your body kind of will complain, But I definitely think soccer is a great sport for children to just play, being something. I guess baseball is too. I kind of like baseball too. Yeah. I guess basketball is too. You know, they're kind of all sports that you play ball. Yeah. How about football? Well, okay. But that's, yep. To each its own. But again, all right, I said enough, didn't I? Yes? Yeah? Yeah. And yeah, I have to tell you honestly, with all these sports and everything, yep, I mean, it should be for fun, right? Yes? Yeah. If it becomes over competitive, then again, what's attached to all that, right? It's not fun anymore. It's not fun. I guess people would disagree, but I think you know what I mean. It seems like in every genre of whatever, right? Is it singers, musicians? Is it actors, actresses, right? Is it famous sports people or famous teams? There seems to be a lot of nasty stuff attached to all that. Again, what did I say? If you become successful and rich, most likely that wasn't done with being a really good person. I'm just saying. Just saying. There's a small portion of them out there that are really good, but they're really small. Well, there it is. Right? So the change happens where? If the people didn't want it, it wouldn't exist. If the people would have a certain standard for everything on the side of goodness, they wouldn't support certain things, certain areas in society that they full well know have a lot of bad things going with it. Right? Yes? Yeah. So, yeah, you can be loud and angry out there and say you're oppressed, but really when it comes down to it, when you look at your own life and what you have done out there, screaming and hollering, you're the oppressor. You're the oppressor. And I'm saying that's not okay. All right? Not supporting that. Done. Alrighty. Well, there you go. God's love and blessings always. Now we'll talk to you another time.